I've had some interesting discussions with some of the other players and with you too around the mindset of champions as they're sort of coming down the stretch and how everybody kind of gets themselves into the winner's circle. And, there's an overwhelmingly consistent message in golf about let it happen. And I think in many cases the champions of a lot of tournaments have a much stronger expectation of winning and a mindset of making it happen and finding a way when it comes to crunch time, and pushing themselves from a mental perspective to elevate their performance and achieve that win. So for you, what's been your experience with winning when it comes to letting it happen versus making it happen?
For letting it happen, it kind of seems like they coincide. You're letting it happen, but you're also, you can't control what anyone else does on the golf course. You just can't. So in that part, you're letting that happen. But for yourself, you're making it happen because you know what they're doing and what you need to do to get yourself to the top of that leaderboard. So that's how I let everything that's going to happen. But what I can control, I want to make it happen.
Okay. So in those, you've got, let's say you got 3 or 4 holes left and you're, one shot back. Are you just kind of trying to stay in the zone and hitting the shots as they come, or are you really, really focused on getting ahead of that person, whether it be with birdies or eagle or whatever it might be?
Yeah. The whole leaderboard watching, there's some guys that don't do it, but I find for myself it's important to because I want to make those birdies and get to the top if I'm in within reach. And I have not had the instance where I want to finish in second place because I've looked at the leaderboard. It's because I'm looking at the leaderboard because I want to finish first. And so making it happen that way is forcing shots down the stretch that might be the aggressive play where a guy who's looking to make a big paycheck for the week might play the safe shot and stay where he's at. I want to make that birdie and I want to win.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. And how do you prepare for a tournament during tournament week? Do you spend a lot of time on the range, working on your swing mechanics, or are you focusing on playing and evaluating the golf course? Kind of sounds like from what you said already today, at least you were, trying to hit some shots that represented the on-course shots. Is that pretty standard for you then?
Well, fortunately, I've had this week to put a full week of practicing at the golf course that I'm playing. So, there's variations to it, but on a weekly basis, when I show up Monday, I'll go to the range, and if I feel like something mechanically is wrong, I might fix it, but I won't spend a whole lot of time on it. I'll do more of the visualization of the golf course and hit shots. I'm more of a field player, so it might take me 5 minutes on the range to find the feel and what I want to use that week. So that's what will happen. It's more getting on the golf course and finding out what I want to hit on certain tees and where I want to be in the fairways to approach and attack things on the greens.
Yeah, so, is that you spend a lot of time then figuring out your course management before the event?
Right.
Yeah, okay. I know putting is one of your strengths, and obviously especially when you're playing well and winning, and it certainly takes a lot of the pressure off your long game when you're putting well. Can you talk a little bit about the importance of your pre-shot routine and how it contributes to you being a successful putter?
The pre-shot routine is probably the most important on the putting green. I know we've talked talked about myself on the teeing area when I'm going to hit a drive. I might not take a practice swing, but when I get on the green, I really try to make sure I do go through my routine. And a lot of the times it just happens because I've done it for so long. And what the benefits of that is you're stepping up to the ball the same way, the same speed every time. It just brings confidence, you know that you've done this before and this is how you approach, each putt produces more consistent results for me.
Yeah. Well, I think it stands to reason. I'm a big believer in the pre-shot routine, and if you can be consistent with your routine, I think it will give you much more consistent results, and that's kind of what I'm hearing from you, especially when you're down the stretch and maybe more distractions or where you really need to be focused. It takes away some of the other things that you might be thinking about. You can really just focus on the habit that you've created with your putting routine.
Absolutely. It's just it makes a big difference. Just in confidence, I know that I'm there.
Yeah.
I'm stepping up to it, and everything's good.
Yeah. So speaking of which, how do you define confidence?
Well, confidence to me is, I find a lot of confidence in knowing that I can do it and, letting things happen. I'm a big believer in knowing at that moment in time, can I hit this shot? And the confidence that I have, whether it be the practice week before, the golf tournament that I just played, that I have the confidence through that work that I know I can hit the shot at this time, and the confidence that, confidence is a hard thing to describe, but I believe myself it's, trusting that I can do it.
Yeah, okay. And is there any special formula that you have for, building confidence, whether it be in your long game or short game or putting or whatnot? Or
well, being the field player that I am, the more I play, the more feel I gain by, being out on the golf course, not just standing on the range and hitting golf shots. Hitting to a specific target on the range for me isn't something that I'm going to leave in that if I chase block and do different trajectories and different shots. It builds that confidence, and when I play, my successful year last year was because I did play, close to 25 weeks out of the year.
Yeah, okay. So that makes a big difference, obviously, for you to get that momentum and that string of events and rounds together that I guess builds that confidence for you. So it's good to know that.
Yep.
What do you consider to be the optimal attitude for winning?
For myself, I expect to win. I push myself to do it. And, when I'm coming down the stretch, the back nine, I look back on the experiences. I've done this before, and I can do it again.
Yeah, okay. Wow. I think that kind of all ties into a lot of the stuff you've said before as well, with some of the self-talk and just the expecting that you're capable of winning and that you belong in that place. So.
Well, and you got to know yourself and your body and your tendencies. When I'm in the heat of the battle, I get a little bit fast, and I just need to recognize that and slow myself down and keep it alone.
Yeah. Okay. So, last question here. Actually, anybody that's successful has had to overcome obstacles and challenges in their career on the way to the top. And what challenges have you had to overcome, and how have they affected your success?
I think early in my career, a challenge was feeling like that my talent could take me all the way to the promised land. And one aspect of that, I had a lot of fun. I went out and partied a little too much, drinking probably too much. And in 2004, I decided that if I was going to make the career of playing golf for a living, that I would have to exclude drinking. So, since January 2004, I haven't had a drop of alcohol. So I think that was one aspect that one challenge that I had to overcome.
Yeah.
And being a Canadian golfer, financially, I think is no matter playing the Canadian Tour and league tours or now the nationwide tour, the financial burden is going to be there because we have a short season in Canada. We have the great sport of hockey that's a lot of sponsorship dollars, and I think Canada's a team aspect country, so the sponsor individuals is very tough. So the financial part of it has been a challenge as well.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Well, I want to thank you, Stu, for the interview here today. And before we sign off, just want to give you the final word. If you have anything that you want to mention to our listeners, any recommendations or whatnot, then this is your chance for sure.
Well, myself, when I sign golf balls for kids and for anybody, I usually write "have fun" on it. It is a sport. Fortunately, myself, I get to do it for a career, but it still is a sport, and I love to have fun out there. And whatever you can do to have fun out there, that's a key aspect in being successful.
Yeah, that is some real good advice, I have to say, because if you're not enjoying what you're doing, then you're certainly not going to do it very well. So I think that's a key message that everyone needs to hear. Absolutely. So. Well, thanks again, Stu. Appreciate your time with this, and good luck the rest of this season, and hope to see you out there sometime.
Absolutely, Brett. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Stu.